So then, we are back with our understandings from the Renewed Covenant, from the Aramaic English translation of the Word. This translation is from the original documents of the Hebrews of old, the holy prophets of Yahweh, giving us indications of the future and how we should then behave ourselves under the mighty hand of Yahweh. And we find many prophecies in Yirmiyahu, the 61st chapter, precisely where we are at during the time of rebuilding, refurbishment, or time of restoration. As we understand from the holy prophecies, Yahweh, the true Creator, has indicated the Gentiles also included in His holy plan. As it was then specified before, wars are prohibited. We are entering a period of time of learning the knowledges of these prophecies. As we then hear and learn and read from Yirmiyahu, He has provided for His people then people to work the land and how they should be treated, precisely as per instructions, because Yahweh has provided. However, Yahweh knew at the end there would be many factions and religions and wars and rumors of wars, as the Messiah spoke. But then when Yahweh would come to introduce then the time of restoration, He had to come up with a diversion. Any military person understands, if you have an objective, you want to take over, then you have to make a diversion. Yahweh is a man of war. But His war is not causing more destruction, it's diversion. That's why China, the leading nation of the end, then is presented. So rather than being involved in their own religions, they are involved with the trade. Because if their God is worth something, then they know how to do trade. They're acting like kids, these nations. High inflation, people destroying each other because of a stupid religion. If your God is worth something, then He provides for your nation what is required to get you rebuilt. China is the leading nation of the end. There are many countries in trouble, at war. They can simply escort the cargoes and then make sure they do what they say they will do. They can do on the basis of an exchange. Troublesome areas, they can receive the materials and the escort of those materials to build in exchange for ores. Where do we find this factor? Revelation. When we read Yirmiyahu, we are reading the time of the end. From the 61st chapter and onwards, you find mostly for the time of the end, after the ascension of the Messiah. So you have to make a reference to the renewed covenant. Secularly speaking, then you layer with Daniel the prophet. He was a statesperson, and he spoke at the time of the end. Nations would come together and try to make a unified system, and did not work. So then when you have the understanding from Yirmiyahu, then you understand precisely the time of restoration, because the restoration has to do then with a dual layer. First then the divine restoration of the cities, speaking of the second services of the Holy Tabernacles, and then Jerusalem. Then Yahweh has provided for the world a place where they can trade, so they can put their acts together. And hold them fast of their words. They want development in their countries, peace and security. You have the perfect friend for you, China. Let's make sure you do what you say. There are many places in Asia, troublesome areas with wars and factions. The Chinese must go over there and make a deal with them. They escort those products to build their places in exchange for minerals. This is what the end of times leadership means. Conquering wars and rumors of wars via trade. You must make a deal, bring in the materials, escorted by the military. That's why Chinese have the vast military in the world. And then the leaders of those nations must be extremely clear. They came here only to deliver the cargo. Jobs are on a rise. And this was provided. You find this prophecy in Yeshayahu, the 61st chapter. You have to understand how to read it. Please stay tuned, much more coming up.